Well, hello everyone. My little technology and this solo dolo act. Something gotta give and it gotta give soon. Like I've been sitting in front of this computer for the past at least like 30 minutes prior to now, trying to get everything to load and to work like I needed to because I'm trying that's all I want to do. Universe, let me get to the people. Y'all give me just a second. I'll connect, make sure and getting this good word that I have to the mind the entire I'm going to keep it when things have to be perfect or anything like that. But yeah, like when I'm ready to get started and I'm ready to get going, it is my prince that, the technology just syncs up like I need it to be. So all my Facebook people, you guys should be able to hear me now. I've just been on a little rant. I haven't really been talking about too much while I open the room and let everyone come in. And then I'm seeing that my IG people, y'all can see me now live in full effect as well. My YouTubers, I hope y'all are rocking with me at the same time. Welcome everyone to another episode, another edition of the Sunday Sit Down. Now, if you've been rocking with me for some time now, I believe we have been doing this thing for a couple months now. And I don't know about y'all, but it's been good for me. I hope it's been good for you guys too. If it has been, put a heart in the chat. Let me know that you're loving on it, that you're rocking with your girl, and that you're getting some um, good energy, good sustenance. Sustenance is not always the food that you eat, it is the other things that you put into your body, from the things that you see, the things that you hear, the things that you touch, the things that you feel, the things that just activate all of your five senses. If you're rocking with me tonight, say hello, bienvenido, hola, jumbo, whatever your native tongue is. I'm here. Show go where we dive deep into the art of science and of personal growth. I host Nicole LaTreece, and we're going to explore new ways to elevate your mindset, enhance your productivity, and lead a more fulfilling life. I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to live life truly to the fullest and in the fullest way possible. There'll be things on the episodes from expert interviews to practical strategies. I'm here to so whether you're on your commute, currently at the gym, or if you're in an environment such as the one that I'm in right now, just chilling at home on your couch, yeah, it's time. Let's get ready to step into your greatness. So come on, join me and let's get started on this journey together. So if you have been watching any of the other previous episodes, if you haven't, don't fear, I'm going to run it down for you and you still have the opportunity to go back and watch them. And if you need to get anything from the episodes, hey, go back and watch them. That's why I record them. I record them for you and I record them for me as well because sometimes I talk, and when I talk, it is meant to deliver the message that is needed, the message that has been put on my heart to be executed. But but I also have to be able to put myself in a space to go back and listen. Because when you're talking, you can't necessarily listen. And when you're listening, you shouldn't necessarily be talking. So make sure that you're receiving all of what it is that you need to, all of this goodness that I have to give. So far we have covered um beliefs. That was the first thing I touched base on. It's what are those things, whether you're willing to say it, not willing to say it, whether you know it or you don't know it. What are those things that are truly going on in your life, in your mindset, in your heart that are holding you back from getting to where ultimately it is that you want to get to? We had a little break where we talked about your North Star. Your North Star was a representation of what is your why. If you're currently on this mind reset journey, no matter what brought you to the point of watching this, it's the official fifth week of the mind reset journey. No matter what led you to this point, what is the why of why you feel like it's beneficial for you to be here? And what is the why of where it is that you're wanting to go? Because if you don't know your why, if you don't know your North Star, the direction, you're going to continue to be lost in the wilderness. Hey, and some people actually like being lost in the wilderness because they think nobody them. There's one that can find you and he'll clear out all the trees around you to find you. He left 99 for the one. You may be that one, whatever the case may be. Yeah, your North Star should point you where it is that you're wanting to go. We also explore like how to change your luck and introducing the law of attraction. So a man thinketh, so shall he be. Where your mind leads, everything else, including the direction of your life, follows. So if you're not 100% with how your thought process attracts ultimately what comes to you, then go back and, kind of run that one back so you'll be able to get that message ending of you wherever everything you're thinking that you're going. Ultimately, that's where you're gonna be. Whatever the type of life it don't always have to be like that, but if you continue to think like, guess what? That's the type of life that you're going to have. Um, and then we've also explored what would make your life better. Like if the limiting beliefs weren't an option, if you really thought that, you had the power to change your luck, if money was not an option, like what would really make your life better? And it has to be the things that lead into a part of your solid foundation. Money comes, money goes. Shoot, people come, people go. But what is the thing for you that sustains? What is the thing that lasts? What is the version of you that would make your life feel better? And last week we talked about letting go. Letting go is something that is unavoidable for all of us. It is something that we are going to experience time and time and time again because we live within this space of the illusion of we hold everything. We're responsible for everything. We do everything. You are like me. The God I serve is the one that's responsible for everything, the beginning, the end, the middle, the in between, all of the good, all of the bad. Like, yeah, I'm a actress in the show, but I'm not the director. So tonight we're going to continue on in this mind reset journey and we're going to explore implicit memory and its influence on your behavior. Implicit memory. So, for anyone that doesn't know, implicit memory, the definition, and we're just going to keep it very basic. The definition is implicit memory is the type of memory responsible for the influences that we are not consciously aware of. So, I'm just going to have to say this. There are some of you in life, some of you watching this video, sitting next to somebody who's watching this video. Um, you're living life in a subconscious way. You're going through the motion. You may be another ship passing in the night. You're not really paying attention to what's going on within your life. You're not really paying attention to how so much of what you expose yourself to is actually influencing who you are. In life, we all have to grow up. Some of us don't grow up, but that's for another episode or maybe another conversation with someone else. But what I mean when I say we all have to grow up, we start as babies. As a baby, when you come into this world, you don't know anything. You have to learn how to open your eyes and readjust your focus to the things that, are now in front of you that you can see. You have to be subjected to light, full light, when you were covered in darkness to a certain extent, being in your mom's womb. You go through all these different things. You learn how to walk, you learn how to talk, you learn what foods taste like. Um, you get friends, you lose friends, you get lovers, you lose lovers. Like there's a whole serious journey that happens, and it's called life. But sometimes there are moments and reasons where life throws so much at us that it's just like, okay, well, I've been through this and I've been through that, and I know how to function and I know how to, make it through. But you don't take the time to realize all of those things that you've been through, all of those TV shows, movies, friendships, relationships, like all of that stuff leaves a lasting impact on who you are and the way that you behave. Just because you're no longer in that previous situation, that doesn't mean that you didn't take something with you, even if you decided to move on. And I've talked about that before. For my people watching this who say, I've moved on, have you really? Because if you've moved on, you would no longer say that you've moved on. You would say that you've moved forward, because there are good things from previous situations, good lessons from previous situations that you actually need to take with you in order to move forward. But I've been noticing, just an observation, and with the clients that I do work with, that there are things that they can't even identify where those things came from, why those things are, why they do the things that they do, because they don't understand those things were put into you subconsciously. The more you expose yourself to something, the more you expose yourself to someone. A seed is planted, as my pastor likes to say. You don't pay attention to the seed. There are some seeds that will grow in the midst of a drought. There are some seeds that can thrive and that can flourish given a little amount of water. And that water may not even be from you. That water may not even be from the person who planted that seed. You're getting water from everyone you come in contact with. So much so to where that seed is going to grow. And the plant that it turns into starts to turn into who you become subconsciously, unconsciously. And I use both of those terms because subconsciously is below the surface. When you are conscious about something, you are aware of it. But to be conscious also means to be intentional about knowing what it is that you need to know. I'll give you a good example. I tell my daughter all the time, girl, I am intentional about knowing you. And if you feel me, you can tell by me looking at y'all right now is the same way that I would tell my daughter. And I mean that. So when she gets into those little moments where she's dishonest, where she's misbehaving, that's not who my child is, because there's life and death in the power of the tongue. I'm not going to speak that as that is all my child is capable of being. But you can't do these things with me. And I've been intentional about knowing you, getting to know you, growing with you throughout this process, so that then when you do something that I'm not paying attention to, now my implicit memory, the subconscious, the the seed that she has planted with her behavior, how I respond to that is rooted in my implicit memory. I've gone through it enough. I've been exposed to it enough. You've shown me so much. I know that there's still more that you have to show, but guess what? I'm paying attention to it. And I'm not telling you that I'm paying attention to it. I'm not telling myself that I'm paying attention to it. I've programmed myself to where it goes in the storage room of where it's supposed to be. So when you put in that misbehaving code, when you put in that lying code, guess what? That storage space is open and it's activated. And all that I have learned and stored in my implicit memory, it comes out, it deals with the situation, and then it goes safely back to where it needs to be. The unconscious part is the people who don't care to be aware. Like subconscious is okay. Like I've noticed this thing, I've noticed this behavior, I noticed like how this person makes me feel, what they say. I've noticed that. But then there are some people who take it to a whole different level. I don't deem them as bad people. They are people that are truly out of alignment with me. I'm allergic to unconscious people. Okay. But they don't care. They're going to maneuver how they're going to maneuver. They're going to do what they're going to do. They may have little moments of a glimmer of light to say, you know what? I have experienced all of this stuff. And all of this stuff wasn't good stuff, they feel. To where it puts them in a space where it's just like, I want something different. Oh, that's what's up. Like I can get down with somebody wanting something different. But then that unconscious behavior is still the primary behavior of who they are. So things may seem different to a certain extent, and maybe it's different because I don't really just know you all like that yet, or you haven't exposed yourself to me enough to know you all like that. But just bear in mind, anybody that's in my life, God is called to show me whatever it is that I need to see about you. God is called to show you whatever it is that you need to see about me. And that is fact because that is a prayer that I have in all of my encounters with everyone, whether it's family, friends, relationship, co-workers, whatever. Lord, show me the fruit of their spirit. Sometimes it may be instant and sometimes it may take a little bit. But either way, that's how I move because of all of the things that are stored in my implicit memory vault. Now, on the contrast of illicit memory are the things that are just below the surface. You have also explicit memory. Explicit memory are the things that you actively, consciously can recall. So, some examples of like implicit memory is the fact that you know how to talk. You just know you know how to talk. At some point you listen to enough people speaking. That's how most of us start talking. Or you go through school, you learn languages, stuff like that. Like once it's taught and you're no longer in an active teaching space, it becomes implicit memory when you're actually able to continue to use it. So explicit memory is I have to remember where this mic is from my mouth in order to make sure that the audio component comes out how it needs to. Because if my mouth is too close, it's going to sound one way. If the mic is all the way back over here, yeah, you may still be able to hear me, but the sound is going to sound different. So I have to be conscious of where the mic is. There are some other examples, that we'll talk about a little bit later, but we're going to move on to exploring the nature of implicit memory. Like I said, implicit memory operates just below the surface of the things that you actively can remember. Let's talk about it from the space of a separation from a friend, a lover, whatever the case may be. Whatever brought you to the place of the separation, after so long and after so much work, there is going to be like key identifying things that you'll be able to recall and you'll be able to remember. If that person lied to you, you'll remember that they lied to you. If that person cheated on you, you'll be able to remember that that person cheated on you. If that person spoke ill of you, then you'll be able to remember that that person spoke ill of you. That's the explicit part. That's the things that you conscientiously remember. Now, even with those examples, if that person spoke ill of you, as you continue to do the work to heal and to fully maneuver away from that situation, you won't remember the things that that person specifically said that spoke ill against you. But you'll still operate in that conscious space of, no, I'm not rocking with them. They spoke ill against me. They did ill against me, or whatever the case may be for your situation. You can fill in that blank, to be able to bring all of it together. Another example is muscle memory. So if you are, excuse me, a basketball or football player, let's say a quarterback. Basketball players, when it comes to free throws, they shoot a lot of free throws to make sure that they get that feel, that they get that rhythm for how their hand, needs to flick the ball to get into the basket like they need to, or how much force they have to put behind the ball to hit the backboard to go in for the free throws. Like they are consistently, repetitively doing this thing to help build up their muscle memory. If you're a quarterback, you have drills to where you have to throw the ball. If you're trying to throw, a spiral on the ball, like you got to work at it. And to get good at it, especially when you're in the point where you want to elevate into um, college football, professional, whatever the case may be, you have to continue to put yourself in this repetitive motion to help to build your muscle memory. Going back to the space of the relationship aspect. And like I say, this is not just intimate relationships. This ain't boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. This is all relationships that I speak on because all relationships need to change, especially my biggest focus is the dynamic between men and women. I really feel like we need to create safer spaces to where we can just be like in a woman's presence, a man can be a man and not feel like it's all about providing or they can't show emotion or any of these things. And then for women being in a man's space, if she's talking about something that she's passionate about, it doesn't necessarily have to be nagging or that, she's just talking to talk. Like, welcome each person into a space to where you're intentional about knowing who they are, especially if that person is meant to be in your life. But emotional responses. We've all endured heartbreak. If you're within my age category, you have probably maybe in high school, but up until now, some people have been spared of that, but everyone has experienced heartbreak to some degree. Going through that process of heartbreak leads to your capability of navigating emotional responses. If you know in the past when you dated someone, the last person, and I'm not saying this, I'm using this as an example, so don't jump to no conclusions. The last person I interacted with lied to me. I now know moving forward what that feels like to be lied to. I'm no longer going to allow people to lie to me. And the reason why I changed it from the mindset of a relationship, an intimate relationship space, to people is because what you allow in one space of your life is what will follow you in the rest of the spaces in your life. So if you allow your child to lie to you, the universe is saying to other people, it's okay to lie to this person. If you are allowing your significant other to cheat on you, don't feel some type of way when you get cheated out of that opportunity at work because you've told the universe, hey, cheating is okay to a certain extent because cheating is a choice. I don't care what anyone says, whether consciously or subconsciously, whether illicit or implicitly or explicitly. It is a choice, especially when you are navigating the space of having someone that you truly love, someone that you are truly committed to. But that's another conversation for another day. If anybody wants to join me and have that conversation, hey, hit your girl up, IG, Nicole LaTreece, or Nicole underscore Nicole LaTreece, sorry. Facebook, Nicole LaTreece. Hey, you can even hit me on YouTube, Forever Nicole LaTreece. I'm here for it all. Like I said, these conversations need to be put out in public and they need to change. But before and being cheated on, it produces a certain emotional response in you. But as you continue to heal, there are certain parts of those emotional responses that will turn implicit once you get your mind right and once you understand how to navigate your own emotions. So, I'm going to talk next about the different types of implicit memory. You have procedural memory. And what that is are the skills and tasks that you perform automatically without conscious thought, such as riding a bike or typing, blinking, swallowing, kind of that space of the involuntary things that you just do or the things that you know that you are capable of doing because you've done them enough times. Like a procedural memory that I honestly have, a recent one, is my dance class. I do swing out every Thursday, 2 hours. Now, there was a good period of time where I was out of it for some months. And it's because I needed to get some things right in my mind and, just I needed to focus. So when I finally decided to get back into class, before I even got back into class, I ran into my instructor out and about at Guthrie Green like I do every summer. And he looking at me, I'm trying to look the other way and he looking at me again. And I'm like, all right, dang it. Now keep in mind, I know this person. He's known me since I was knee high to a grasshopper, so there ain't no escaping him. Um, but he grabs me and we get up there and we start dancing. And I was like, I made a joke, but I was low key serious. And I was like, okay, like what grade would you give me if you had to evaluate, the steps that I just did? He was like, I give you like a solid B plus. And I was like, oh shoot, I'm doing better than what I thought I was doing. But it's because of my procedural memory. I practice at home even though I'm not in class. Now that I'm back in class, low key, I'm looking forward to advancing from intermediate to the advanced ones. Come on, let's put these combos together. Your girl is ready. But I'm only able to do it because of the procedural memory that I have that's associated with my swing out steps. The next type of implicit memory is emotional conditioning. And what that is how certain experiences trigger emotional responses based on past events, not always consciously remembered. So, in the world of coaching, which is what I do, I'm a certified mindset elevation coach. What that means to me is how you handle things the next time you experience it. Because if you go through something once, you'll never go through it again, you may need to hit me up for a session. It may not look the same way. It may not come in the same shape, form, or fashion, but it's going to come again. If one person tries you, another person is capable of trying you. But understanding how you responded to the first person trying you should better equip your conditioning for how you handle the situation when the next person tries you. And maybe you need to get to the point to where no matter how you're tried in a relationship, an intimate relationship, figure out what are some similarities in how someone can try me like this in a familial relationship, or in the familial relationship figure out how someone can try you in your co-working relationship. And this one I got to talk about it to all my co-parents who may be watching this video. Like, that is really a subject that I want to talk to, and just put in front of everyone, for real, for real. I am a co-parent. Through my own emotional conditioning of navigating through my relationship, the end of my relationship, the separation, the divorce, the relocation, my child not being here, no matter all of that, and throughout all of that, I still have a co parent that is responsible for my child, for our child. So much so to where our child is still in Houston right now. What that experience and my emotional conditioning allowed me to understand is everything is good. Just because my relationship didn't work out with my ex-husband, I still have a relationship that I have to work out with my ex-husband. But there's a huge element that I had to take out of the mix, which was the residual emotions from the relationship. Like, as a child of God, I am kind, I am gentle, I choose to be good, I choose to be nice. Don't take my niceness for weakness. I'm telling you, I'm a Pisces at the same time. Mm, we're not gonna get into that too deep. But I had to put myself in a place of understanding, all right, I need to go through a journey of emotional conditioning when it comes to the situation with my ex-husband being the father to my daughter. Now, some people will hear that and be like, dang, that's all she's reduced him to. It's not a bad thing. That's a level of respect. He is the father of my daughter. I have to respect him as that, and I have to show him respect for that. But emotional conditioning, true emotional conditioning, for me to be able to get to even point. And for him, I'm pretty sure he didn't like that. When I was trying to just get him to understand the basic level of where I was. But hey, this ain't a bad thing. This is what it is. This is what it's going to be. And this is how we choose to move forward, or how I choose to move forward. And everything is good. Oh, but we focus on when needed, which is our child. Y'all can't erase y'all baby daddies. Y'all can't erase your baby mama. I don't even like saying that, but I'm saying that to get down to y'all level, to get down in the muck with you. And maybe once you stop just classifying that person as your baby mama or your baby daddy, and you give them the respect that they once held as being the other half of the chromosomes responsible for the chromosomes that make up your kid, and call that person your child's mother, your child's father. Maybe that'll be the first part of your emotional conditioning that'll actually get you to a better place when it comes to co parenting. The last one is priming. And what priming is it's understanding how exposure to certain stimuli, like the things that you look at, the things that you hear, the things that you feel, how those things can unconsciously influence all of our subsequent actions and thoughts. So a man thinketh, so shall he become. What you eat is what you like. What you eat is what nourishes your body. What you don't eat, even though you don't like it, but it may be good for you, there are certain lifestyle responses that are going to be produced as a result to that. The things that you listen to, whether it's this podcast, other podcasts, hip hop, R&B, gospel, Christian, whatever the case may be, all of those things are considered stimuli because they're coming into your conscious and subconscious state of being, and it's mixing and it's meshing and it's producing certain things within you. So I'm going to go ahead and give a disclaimer. Be careful of the things that you take in and be careful of the things that you absorb because those things are the very things that become you. They are the very things that you won't even be able to realize are actually those limiting beliefs, where they come from. There's so much I want to say, but I am not one to tell people's business. And I am consciously choosing to continue to move forward. That is my healing process. And in me not wanting to speak on certain things, because like I said, I don't tell people's business. Even though I was a part of the experience of getting said information for people's business. When someone says that they have changed, you should ask that person, not in doubt, but period. You should ask that person, is that consciously that you are doing that? Because consciously means you're actively and intentionally dwelling in the space of change. And if they're not aware or if they can't say, yeah, look at their actions. Because if a person is living a conscious life, if a person is living in a space of explicit memory, that will be evident not just in what they say, but also in the very things that it is that they do. I am someone who doesn't like maliciously or who doesn't negatively try to be better than other people. Because in order for me to feel like I have to be better than someone else, there's a level of explicit conscious memory that I have to where I can identify that that person is not their best. And then you go into the space of judgment. But my implicit memory kicks in to say what they do is what they do. Who they are is what they are. Who they are is who they are. All I am consciously in that situation doing is I'm not here to judge. And I'm here to identify if that person is in alignment with me, where I'm going, and the type of life that it is that I ultimately want to live or not. But there are some times, and I have some other friends who are kind of going through the same part of their journey. There are times where you just feel like you are operating in such a conscious state that no one knows what to do with you. And for some people, they look at it negatively. It's just like, ah, man, like, I ain't got no friends. I don't have nobody I can relate to. I'm not going out. I'm not, doing this. I'm not doing that. But what are you doing? What have you done to be able to get to this point? And the universe ain't finna just let you be by yourself unless you're thinking and speaking on the fact that all I have is I'm by myself. I've gone through that journey. I'm not above it, but guess what? I'm back in that journey right now, and my perspective on it has changed. And I'd like to think that the way I looked at it before, I was operating in what's called the illusion of truth effect. But the real thing is, whose version of the truth was I living in? If you've watched any of my videos, if you talk to me in real life, like up until age 36, 37, I've known how to live life for other people, with other people, in service, like full service of other people. So much so to where now God has blessed me to say, baby girl, it's okay. Everything, everyone is it's in their proper place. All relationships that needed to go, unfortunately, they're gone. Unfortunately and fortunately with some of them. All things that you were previously worried about, got anxious from, like there's a level of peace. And I'll continue to talk about that level of peace because I'm trying to draw it to me every chance, every way, every moment that I get because it ain't mine, it's the Lord's. And I know that it is. But that's what helps me to navigate and to not get sucked back into the illusion of truth. The illusion of truth is a cognitive bias where repeated exposure to a statement increases the likelihood of accepting it as true. I've been through some things. I'm not the things that I've been through. Now, previously, I would say it's me. What did I do? What didn't I do? What should I have done? What could I have done? To where now I'm on the other side of those things and I don't even say, what would I have done? It is what it is. What's done is done. I can't do anything to change that illusion of truth because it's not true because it ain't here with me now. And if it ain't here with me now, then maybe it wasn't my version of the truth, like the truth of who I am. When you better understand the illusion of truth effect, like that bias that how you start is all you'll ever be. How you went through that thing is the way that you'll always go through that thing. The way you experience relationships is the same way none of that has to stay the same. Maybe you need to go into your illicit memory vault and do an inventory. Well, this one person, they did this, but because it's in your illicit memory vault, it's seeping up into your consciousness and it ain't even supposed to be there. Because if that situation, if that person, if that experience is not a part of your current experience, it's not a part of what you're living right here, right now, listening to the sound of my voice, evicted because you can't make space for what's meant to come to you, holding on to that which no longer belongs to you anymore. And don't harp on the fact of you lost it. What do it say? If you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it was yours. If it don't, then it never was. And I know for a lot of us, like this is taking a lot of growth for me to be able to get to this point to really feel that same. Because we don't want to let go. I talked about that last week. But when everything tells you that it's time to let go, there's beauty in the letting go. There's beauty in the becoming that occurs after the letting go. Like in my therapy session on Thursday, Dr. Pons, I'm so upset, y'all. I think my last session is this upcoming Thursday because he's going into active duty. And where I have been in my life with him, I'm thankful for him truly. I'm thankful for God speaking the word to say, yeah, that's the one. That's the one that's really going to be able to help you. And he has. But the God I serve, if he did it before, he'll do it again. Same God right now, same God back then. And I look forward to the amazing journey that I will continue to be on. There are some things, oh man, there are some things that are about to occur in my life which are going to change and challenge and influence my explicit, my conscious memory and my implicit, my subconscious memory. But I know the timing of these things that I'm about to explore are right because I'm not worried. I'm not anxious. I'm not fearful because they're for me. And God told me I'm big and I'm meant to operate in a space that is big. And even if I'm not operating in a space that's big to other people, the space I operate in is big. But what came across my mind when I had my therapy session, and I'm gonna start wrapping up, is I said sometimes you have to get outside of something in order to grow. And the easiest way that we do that is, moving around from jobs, moving around from other people, moving around from, apartment to a house, car to car. But when I said that in my session, the only representation of that was me. I had to get outside of who I know myself to be in order to grow. And little by little, I can see that God is showing me, all right, you getting ready. We almost there. It's almost time for this thing to happen. You got just a little bit more left to do to activate what's about to come. And when we activate, it's going to require a little bit of isolation. It's going to require a whole lot of focus. It's going to require a whole lot of discipline, determination, intention, consistency. But I needed to prepare you to be okay with being in this space that's just your own. All right, Lord, let's go. So before I get out of here, I just want to encourage each and every one of you to reflect on and then take the time to think about how your implicit memory is actually influencing your behavior and your decisions. If you sit down in a quiet room, no TV, no music, no nothing, just you yourself. I like to lay on the floor and just kind of, just lay there, let my body relax. First, you will identify, okay, I'm laying on the floor, I'm chilling, there's no music. But the longer you sit in that space, the more your implicit memory will come about. And if you are someone who's navigating the space of separating from a hurt one who loved you or a hurt one that you loved, there are a lot of implicit memories that are going to come to mind. Don't judge yourself for having them. Let them come out. If you don't let it come out, you can't surrender it to God. You can't let it go. You can't release. Releasing takes intention. I'm still in the process of releasing certain things. There was a dang picture. I have all my stuff is backed up into a OneDrive. And OneDrive, it gives you, memories from this day, whether it's like, a couple years ago, this time last year, whatever the case may be. And one of the memories that came up was the person that I just separated from interacting with. Just like, really? You gotta be kidding me. But that's a similar representation of the how of the ways illicit memories can come up. I didn't even realize that those pictures were still in there, let alone that this was this time last year. But you know what I did? I went back to that memory and I deleted it. I activated my conscious brain to be able to say, you know what? That ain't what we need. We don't need to go through this. We don't need to go through this experience ever again of OneDrive giving me an illicit memory. And it'll put me on a path to really go through my OneDrive and make sure certain photos of certain individuals are completely deleted. I don't even care. Like, I'm 40 now. What I need to hold on to any of those memories for? If I ain't trying to hold on to them in real life outside of OneDrive, what I need to hold on to them for with OneDrive? So yeah, that's the next part of my journey. So I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining me tonight in another episode of the Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. We are at a point, we are over halfway. We only have about 4 more weeks to be able to really bring this mind reset journey home. So I hope each and every one of you guys keep rocking with me, keep asking me your questions, engaging with me. I am here to be able to help you activate the best part of yourself and to get into the best part of your life that you still have yet to live. This is only the beginning. So, next week, we are going to talk about mindfulness and cognitive restructuring because you can't get anywhere in this mind reset. Like, it's not enough to just be aware of certain things, it is important also to understand I'm aware of this thing. How does this newfound awareness make me feel? What do I want to do with this newfound awareness? And where is this newfound awareness? Like, how does it apply into the next version of life that it is that I have to live. All of that is cognitive restructuring because you can't say I want different, but you're not putting yourself into the place of having experiences that are different. Or you can't say you want different, but you're still trying to be the same person, but yet you want everything and everyone else around you to be different. It's time to restructure. So I hope y'all enjoyed this evening. Thank you for everyone that um joined me. Sorry. Thank you for everyone for watching week over week. Thank you for engaging with me and thank you for trusting your girl. Until next Sunday for another episode of the Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. As always, it is my hope that you are seeking to live a good life filled with real love and all of the above.